my loves. Welcome in to this reading for the full moon in Gemini. I'm so happy to have you here. We are going to be diving into the astrological cycle of the full moon, how it relates to your own astrology, and then we're going to be tapping into our own intuitive guidance, our support team, by utilizing the spiritual tools of the cards to get us advice based on the current astrology and our own astrology. For those who are new, hello and welcome in. It is lovely to have you here. Welcome into this beautiful family, this beautiful process. I'm excited to have you be a part of it. I have a tutorial video that helps you to get the most out of these readings. It gives you a little bit more information about what we're doing here and really how to process through these readings and get the most out of them. It's not necessary for you to watch them, but it is an option should you feel called to utilize it. For those who are not new, hello and welcome back in. Thank you so much for being here. This is a way that my heart loves to connect with you guys. This is like me showing up on a one-on-one basis, even though it's electronic and even though there's a time difference between us. I feel connected to you guys through this guidance, through this advice that I share, and it's just really amazing to be able to offer you this support in this way that I do, and I appreciate you so much for being here. There are many ways that you can support me should you feel called to do that. I am offering these readings for free, so any support that you can give me is welcome. There's free ways to support me and there's financial ways. You can just comment on these. You can share them with other people. You can donate if you want to at paypal.me/devotedvulnerable. Link is in the description. Or you can sign up for your own personal chart reading or card reading at devotedandvulnerable.com/services. Link is also in the description. Before we get started and talking about the full moon energy and Gemini energy and what this reading is going to be about, I want to remind you that at any point you can utilize the navigation bar to scroll through information that you're already familiar with. I take time to do timestamps on all of these videos so that you can navigate them based on your own level of understanding that you already have. If you're new, you're probably going to want to sit through and watch it all. But if you're not new, if you're familiar with the energies, the archetypes that I'm going to be talking about, you can feel free to scroll ahead to the readings and get right to the meat of the material. So we're going to be talking about full moon energy right now. Full moon energy is when the moon is full in the sky. It's always in the sign opposite of where the sun is. So we have a full moon in Gemini right now. The full moon will happen on December 7th. It'll happen at 23:07 Eastern Time. And it's happening in 16 degrees 2 minutes of Gemini. So the advice that we're going to be talking about for this full moon will last from this full moon until the next full moon, which will be from December 7th until January 6th. Full moons are always a time of celebration. It's celebrating a theme. It's like the full focal point and spotlight on something, and it's always a celebration underneath the sign that it is occurring in. So now let's talk about what Gemini energy is. Gemini is an air sign. So air signs rule and represent the mental and intellectual realm. So thoughts and beliefs and the mental processes of our beings are all contained within the realm of air. Now, Gemini is a mutable sign. Mutable signs are signs that happen during the change of a season. So they are the energy of change, the energy of adaptation, the energy of being not one thing, but also not another. Gemini occurs during the time when we transition from spring into summer. So this is the energy that we are in. We're celebrating a fullness of this Gemini energy, a fullness of this changing intellect that we have. Gemini is represented by the symbol of the twins. So the twins are this energy, like I said, of the mutable energy, of something being the same but different, which twins represent. It's also the energy of the mirror. What we see in the mirror reflected back to us gives us information about ourselves. So this is the intellectual quality of Gemini. Geminis are witty, they're clever, they're intelligent, adaptable, and they're energetic. This is a sign that's constantly having ideas. And as we celebrate this full moon, celebrate the energy of Gemini, we're going to be going to the cards to celebrate what our intellect has achieved this year. So that is going to be the focus of the card readings. We're going to be going to the Super Attractor deck by Gabrielle Bernstein, which is going to offer us an affirmation to help us support this and celebrate this amazing intellectual ability that we have. We all have different ways of expressing our intellect, and the Gemini moon really wanted us to focus on celebrating our minds, celebrating the intellectual realm, and really making it personal to us. So how you personalize this information is you watch the reading that is aligned for where 16 degrees, 2 minutes of Gemini shows up in your chart. Which house? Now, if you don't know how to find that information, that's absolutely fine. Just take the time to watch this tutorial video that's popping up right now. It is going to take you through how to enter in your birth data into a chart generator, and then how to read the chart enough to know where Gemini 16 degrees 2 minutes occurs in your chart, which house it occurs in. Now you can use any house system that you want to. I explained a little bit in the tutorial video. I use the whole house system, but there's also the default system, which is known as the Placidus system, and the equal house system, which starts the first house at the ascending point. Now, again, you don't have to know any of that. You just go with whatever you're called to. Your guides, your support team know which house system you're going to choose, and they're going to show up for you in whichever reading aligns with that house, okay? If you have questions after watching that video about which reading is the right video for you, please contact me and let me know. And let's dive into what information is coming through for us to celebrate about our intellect this lunar phase. So this reading is for you if 16 degrees 2 minutes of Gemini shows up in your 6th house. If you're already familiar with the 6th house energy, you can scroll ahead to the card reading. So the houses in the astrological story represent where things happen. Each house is ruled by one of the 12 zodiac signs and one of the planets. So the 6th sign of the zodiac story, which starts with Aries, is Virgo. Virgo is ruled by Mercury. So Mercury is also the ruler of the 6th house. So the rulers really represent the theme of each house, the area of our lives that the houses represent. So the theme of the 6th house, the theme of Virgo and Mercury, is the house of health. This deals with our wellness, our vitality, our pets, our service to others, and our healing. So this is the realm that we are looking at as we celebrate our intelligence with this full moon in Gemini. Okay, so we're going to be looking at our intelligence as it relates to our health and as it relates to the affirmation that comes through for us. Let's see what that affirmation is. So if you haven't already called in your spiritual support team, taken a few deep breaths, and opened your heart to receive the guidance that's most aligned for you at this time, please do that. Remember, you can pause the video to take more time to do that if you need to. Ooh, yeah. I let an inner sense of quiet multiply each day as I strengthen my faith in the love of the universe. Wow. Yes. Okay. So the intellectual ability that we are celebrating, because Gemini is an air sign representing our intelligence, it's a very intellectual sign. The intellectual quality that we're celebrating is our ability to have a sense of quiet, an inner sense of quiet. So, quieting our emotions, our minds, our beings is actually a very powerful practice. It's actually a very supportive, healthy way of being. So this is what I'm feeling most from this card is your health, your vitality, your healing comes from your ability to cultivate this inner sense of quiet. Now, because this is a full moon, this isn't going to be a new thing to you. Like, this isn't going to be something that you've never experienced before. Your guides are coming through with this card to remind you to celebrate this quality that you have exercised before and that they want you to continue to celebrate by exercising again during this lunar phase. So, as this inner sense of quiet multiplies each day, as you focus on it, as you celebrate it, as you go into this mental, emotional place, it's going to strengthen your faith in the love of the universe. It's going to fill you with an understanding, a knowing, a visceral sense of the beautiful supportive love and vibration that the universe has, and that you feel this connection that you feel with the universe. So something that I've been doing every day as part of my practice is I put coconut oil in my mouth and I do what's called oil pulling. And it takes about 15 minutes to half an hour every night to do this oil pulling. And I have dedicated this time of oil pulling to put down whatever project I'm working on, to put down the internet, put down my technology, set aside the outside world, and to go into a space that's quiet, that's my own, and to do some stretches, and then just to sit in quiet contemplation and breathe through whatever it is that I've experienced that day, whatever it is that's coming up. I just allow myself to really cultivate this inner sense of quiet. I'm bringing this up because it's so powerful when you commit to a practice of this inner sense of quiet and cultivating that on a daily basis. I also wake up in the morning, and before I grab my phone, before I start my day, I sit in contemplation with myself. I do a breathing exercise to kind of clear my mind. Breath work is a powerful way to clear your mind, but all of these things that I'm sharing with you are suggestions. But I feel because this is a full moon celebration energy that you already had a practice or have a practice of developing this sense of inner quiet and celebrating that this lunar phase by diving further into that is really the guidance here, so that you can experience and celebrate the love of the universe and have faith in the love of the universe, to really feel that you are supported by your support team, by your higher self, by whomever you go to for guidance, God, goddess, angels, guardians, ancestors, to increase your relationship with those supportive, loving energies. This inner sense of quiet is what you are being invited to celebrate. And celebrating it means choosing it, means engaging in it, means practicing it. So this lunar phase, I would write down this affirmation and repeat it, but I would also put into my life the practice of it, the going into it, and maybe turn the volume up on it a little bit. Like, if you're already doing this, how can you turn the volume up a little bit more on it? Whatever that means to you, whether it's doing it for 5 more minutes a day or adding another practice. Like, if you're sitting in meditation, maybe adding a breathing practice that you know works well for you. Or if you're already breathing, maybe putting a journal by your meditation space and taking an extra 10 minutes to journal. These are just examples, but different ways that you can turn up the volume on cultivating this inner sense of quiet within you, because this is relating to your health and your vitality, and you're going to be able to show up and serve, which is also a theme of the sixth house, in a deeper way when you've cultivated this sense of inner quiet, because it's going to give you faith in the love of the universe. And we as a society, can use as many people who have faith in the love of the universe as possible. So it's very important work that you're doing. Thank you for celebrating this inner sense of quiet. I'm so excited to see you celebrate this, to see you really get, um, to see you really dive deeper into this practice and to get the results of it and to share the gifts of it with the rest of us. Let me know how this resonates. Let me know if you have questions. Happy full moon in Gemini. And as always, namaste. The universal light within me salutes and honors the universal light within you. Namaste.